Hey, what's going on? This is Thomas Galdenzi with Combat Sports Coverage. I'm here interviewing Bellator main event fighter Brandon Girtz, where he'll be taking on Saad Awad at Bellator 219. So, Brandon, tell me how you're feeling so far heading into this big Bellator main event fight.
I'm excited, man. It's a great matchup that only is going to bring fireworks. You know, me and Saad have been in Bellator for over 6 years now, both of us. You know, so we're veterans here in Bellator, and they knew what they were doing when they made us main event. You know, they know we're gonna bring the fight.
And where are you training for, and who are you training with for this fight?
I train out in Denver, Colorado. I train at Genesis Training Center. I also train at Elevation. We have out here in Colorado right now. We got a great thing going where we're cross training at gyms. You know, we're all kind of working together here in Colorado. It's a very cool thing. You know, I've always had my training partner Justin Gaethje since I've been out here, and you know, there's plenty of other people: Drew Dober, Neil Magny. Plenty of those guys. We have a good group of fighters here in Colorado. It's we got quite the community, and we all kind of hang out. We all kind of do things, and it's we're creating something out here.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, especially some of those names you just dropped are some great training partners to have, especially at 155 pounds. And tell me, how much of a factor is that going to help you that you are training out there in Colorado? You have the altitude to make sure your cardio is perfect and on tip-top shape.
You can't beat it. You know, I mean, I came out here and wrestled once when I was in college, and I felt the burn. You know, first time I came out here, and it's one of those things that you really don't know until you come out here and you feel it. You know, everybody that comes and visits feels it right away. You know, so I tell people it's a free 10%. You know, just living out here, I have a free 10%. You know, I came here 5 years ago and I haven't left for a reason. It's great training out here, and like I said, the training partners, the training facilities, they're top notch out here.
Definitely, yeah. I've been to Colorado, and I can definitely protest that. When I was up there, I was just walking around. I could just feel I was getting tired. I was getting out of breath a lot quicker, and you definitely feel that extraness just pulling on your lungs. And tell me, how do you see this fight going down with Saad Awad?
I don't see it going to distance. You know, we're both coming out there to make a statement. You know, we both like to fight. You know, I'm looking to take his head off. You know, and I respect Saad Awad a ton. You know, we've met, we follow each other. You know, I respect him, but I feel like the biggest respect is to give someone your best. You know,
Oh yeah,
so
definitely.
when I stand out there, when he stands out there, I know we're gonna be coming at each other.
And since Saad is mainly a striker, do you think you might use a little bit of your wrestling for this fight, or do you mainly think it's just going to play it on the feet and you guys are just going to stand there and throw some shots at each other?
You know, it's always hard to say. I mean, I got my wrestling. I definitely know my wrestling's better than his, and if there's an opening, I'll take it. But when I step out there, it's all instincts. You know, I've gone into a fight before where I said, you know, I'm not going to take this guy down because he's good at this, and then I take him down. You know, because it's just instincts. You know, when I'm out there, it's, you know, I go in autopilot into kill mode, you know, and that's it. So if the takedown's there, you know, I'm gonna take it, and I'm gonna use whatever advantage I have.
And I definitely agree on that. Yeah, that's one reason why I think your main event for this fight is because you do go in that kill mode. When you're in that cage, you're one of the most exciting fighters that Bellator has to watch. You sit there, you throw shots. You're a very powerful puncher. When you hit these guys, they feel it, and it makes for such exciting fights. And I cannot wait for this fight. I think it does going to have fireworks written all over it, and you guys are going to sit there and bang. And that's what I think a lot of people don't really know too much about, is that you do have a wrestling background also, because you do seem to like to sit there, trade shots, and go for that knockout. But you do have actually a really good wrestling background too. I just wanted to ask you a little bit about that. You know, if you want to tell everybody like where you used to wrestle for. Have you wrestled in college, I believe?
Yeah, I wrestled in college. I was All-American in college. You know, that's my core. You know, wrestling's always there, and you know, I'll use it. But in the end of the day, this is entertainment. And at the end of the day, I'm going out there to kill somebody. You know, I'm not going out there to just take them down, lay on them, or do anything like that. You know, I'm going out there. I'm going out there to entertain, but I'm going for the kill. You know, that's when I step out there. It's personal to me. It's a fight. I know this is a sport. It definitely is. It's a great sport, but to me, at the end of the day, it's a fight, and I'm going out there to put someone away.
And I love that mindset and that mentality, because it is a fight, and I think a lot of fighters, too many fighters nowadays are definitely going for the points. They just want to lay down on someone or just touch them. They're not really going for that finish, and that makes for very exciting fights, and that's definitely why you're probably the main event and going to keep being the main event for these fights. And another question I had for you was, your last fight was in April 13, 2018 versus Michael Chandler. And that was almost 1 year ago since you've stepped into the Bellator cage. And I was just wondering, why is that? Have you had injuries, or have you just not been able to get a fight?
Yeah, with that Michael Chandler fight, in that fight, I blew out my shoulder. So I've been recovering. I recovered from shoulder surgery after that. That was kind of, the brutality of that fight. When he took me down, I went to post and I blew out my shoulder, so I kind of lost one of my arms in that fight. That's a brutal one for me. My body gave out, and one of those, that's a fight I want back. So that's definitely a fight I'm looking to fight back to. Chandler's at the top of the podium, and he's someone I'm aiming for. He's always been someone since I've been with Bellator that I'm aiming for, and I got my chance, but my body gave out there, which is terrible. But now I'm gonna work my way back up to that fight.
Yeah, that's sad. Sorry to hear about your shoulder. I've actually dislocated my shoulder quite a few times. I've had 2 shoulder surgeries, and they're not fun. I couldn't want to imagine having it, then have to keep fighting. So that's props to you, and I definitely hope everything's healed and everything went perfect for you in that case. But speaking of Michael Chandler, and if you get this win on Saturday, do you think you'll be getting that rematch with Michael Chandler? Maybe be fighting for the belt?
I think I have a couple more wins to get back up there. Just given that my last fight, he submitted me. Given I was hurt and my arm was gone, but it did happen. And I think after this fight and another great performance like the one you're gonna see on 219, it'll put me right back up into the mix.
Oh, that's exciting. I cannot wait. And I hope you do get, after you get this win, I hope you do get a title fight and rematch with Michael Chandler. And then looking back at your Bellator career so far, what is the most proudest moment you have? Is it your big win over Melvin Guillard, or is it your finish, or is it your wars where Derek composed? What to you is your most proudest moment inside Bellator's cage?
That I would have to say the Derek fight. Melvin Guillard fight was big because that was kind of my showcase, and I, dominated in every aspect, and that was kind of that was the start. That I kind of felt like that was my coming out party. So that was a big one. But that fight was, I don't want to call it easy or whatnot, but it didn't test my will like the last Derek Campos fight. That was the most blood or the most cut open I've ever been in my life. And when that happened, the only thing I thought in my head was, I'm gonna fuck this dude up, and it put more fire in me, and like you said, it tested my will, and I loved the feeling that I got from it. All I wanted to do was fight even harder. So after that fight, even though that the doctor stopped in, I was pissed and I was definitely mad. But after that fight, I wasn't beating myself up over it. I wasn't mad at myself for not giving it my all. I gave it my all. I was happy with myself. I wasn't happy that the doctor stopped it, but I was happy that when the shit got as bad as it's ever been, I turned it up a notch.
Oh, definitely. And that, if everyone hasn't seen that fight, they definitely need to go check out that fight, because that fight was amazing. You both just sat there, you both got rocked, and you both kept fighting. You both were bleeding, and y'all just kept fighting. It was an amazing fight. Definitely. So, Brandon, a lot of people in Bellator, there used to be a lot of Bellator tournaments, and they've been starting to do those tournaments again lately. Why they had the Bellator heavyweight tournament that just happened, where we saw the light heavyweight champion Brian Bader take over and win that. And what do you think about Bellator getting back into the tournaments? Do you think that's a good idea? Would you like to do one of the lightweight tournaments if they have one?
I think it's a great idea. I love it. I love the tournament aspect. That goes all the way back to wrestling. That's how I've started. I would love to be in a lightweight tournament. I feel like lightweight's got some of the best people in Bellator at lightweight, and it would definitely be action packed, and that's something I would definitely have to be involved in.
Yeah, I was a big fan of Bellator when they had the tournaments. I'm always a sucker for those tournaments. They make me think of the Pride days, and I just love it. I love when they do multiple fights in one night. I think it just shows your guys how tough you guys really are and how strong-minded fighters really are. Because that's, to me, I think it's one fight is enough in one night. That's crazy that some of y'all can do 2 to 3 fights in one day, and I'm like, man, that's just insane. And then tell me, what's something you like to do outside of training and fighting inside the cage?
Obviously, my dog and being outside is a big part of my life. Just being outside, enjoying Mother Nature, and Colorado's got a ton of that. That's kind of one of the aspects why I moved here, and just having the quality of life outside of training. So here it's beautiful here all the time, and with the mountains and be able to hike and be able to bring my dog around everywhere is it's great. So just like I said, being outside, man, that's a big number one thing to me.
How often would you say you go hiking out there?
Well, when it's in the summer months, at least once, twice a week.
Oh, nice.
I at least try to make it a point to do it once a week. I usually have a set day that I always hike, and then I'm not talking about 14ers all the time or and things like that. Just make sure I get out and hit a path and just enjoy Mother Nature, man.
Oh, definitely. That's awesome. I definitely love Colorado. It's a great area. And tell me, today's St. Patrick's Day. So thank you again for taking some time out of this day to have this interview with me and everything. And I was just telling what you got planned for today for St. Patrick's Day. Do you have anything planned?
You're looking at it right now, man. This is my day. Sunday's my day off. I'll just be hanging out by the pool and soaking up the sun, dude. And that's my Sunday right now. It's we're 2 weeks away. We're 2 weeks away from the fight. It's all about relaxing right now, recovering, and I ain't getting in no mayhem today.
Right? Yeah, no green beers for you.
No.
And then tell me, before we end this, is there any special sponsors or any special training partners you want to give a shout out to or a special thank you to?
Just thank you to my team at Genesis, and then thank you to my sponsors, Laura Leans, CW, CBD. My Happy Dog is a big one of my favorite sponsors right now because they're keeping my dog happy with their great treats.
That's awesome. And so make sure everyone to tune into Bellator 219, where we see Brandon Girtz taking on Saad Awad March 29th live on Paramount TV, and it's going to be guaranteed fireworks. And thank you again, Brandon, for taking the time and tuning in.
Absolutely, brother. Anytime, my man.